One thing I can say is that I think that William Troost-Ekong can still change his mind. Let us not say it's a done deal that he has left. It shouldn't be a done deal. He's 32 years old. He's actually 32 years old. He was born in Netherlands, Holland. So there they keep good birth records. So he's actually 32 years old. And he can still play a few more years with Nigeria. I think those NFF, Nigerian Football Federation, the coach, past players, they should talk to him to change his mind. Whatever has happened to lead to his decision, they can still talk to him to change his mind. Because William Troost-Ekong is a key part of the team. Going by all I've been reading since he announced his retirement, he's a key part of the team. Being part of the team is not only what you do on the pitch. Being part of the team is the leader of the team. And when you have a group of young men who play in different countries, from different backgrounds, with different way of thinking, they don't play in the same club. These are people that play in various clubs across Europe and in other continents, and so it's not easy to maintain team discipline. Maintaining team discipline is not easy. So you need a leader who will be able to maintain team discipline, who will be able to call the squad to order, who will be able to provide leadership both on the pitch and off the pitch. And so William Troost-Ekong is needed in that team. Even if he's not playing 90 minutes, even if he's starting from the bench, he is needed. And as such, there is still time for him to change his mind. Something, going by what sport analysts are saying, something may have happened for him to make the decision at this point. So they should still talk to him. Somebody announces he's retiring. It's happened before. There are players who announced they were retiring and they came back. There are sports persons. Remember Tom Brady, American sports. He announced his retirement several times and still came back. So William Troost-Ekong can still come back. And so he's vital to the team. He's still needed. He's 32 years. He can still play till he's in his early 30s. He can still play till his late 30s. As a defender, he can still play to his late 30s. And so, whatever the issue is, there were issues before during the World Cup qualifier, before they played Gabon. There were issues of allowances that were not paid, and the players came together and they decided to boycott a full day training before they played in Gabon, where the presidency, according to reports, had to intervene and monies were paid and all that. They won Gabon, but now lost to DRC. We know, if you follow Nigerian football, you will know that there is a problem. We know this for a fact. Ask any coach who has coached Nigeria. They are owing them. Anybody that just left coaching Nigeria, while they are coaching Nigeria, they may not say much to the press because they're still under contract. But the moment they leave, you ask them, they will tell you that they are owing them money. I've not heard of any coach whom the NFF, the Football Federation, is not owing. They owe them. At the end of the day, they may just be paying money small small. We enter contract with coaches to pay them certain amount of money. When the coaches start working, they will not pay them. These players that come from abroad, in short, those days we used to hear that some of these officials used to collect money from some of these players so that they can feature, they can be invited for the squad. There is this impression that the NFF officials and some people have, and some Nigerians have the impression that these players are well paid abroad. They are well paid in Premier League, in Europe and all that. So they don't really need the money that Nigeria will pay them. And so when they come to play for Nigeria, they should just play out of patriotism. They should just play out of patriotism. They don't need to be paid. That is the mindset of some of these officials. NFF, the name has changed over the years. It's not NFF. The mindset they have is these players are being paid in dollars and pounds and euros. They don't need to be paid here. That is the mindset. Remember that. They feel these players should feel grateful. They should be happy that they're invited to play for the national team. And as such, you don't need to pay them. They have allowances, you don't need to pay them. That is the mindset. And when you have that mindset, even when money is budgeted or allocated to pay for the allowances, the money will not be paid. And the way they do it is this: they will just enter some kind of forgive my language, silly agreement. They enter some kind of silly non-verbal agreement that you just go play this tournament. At the end of the tournament, we'll pay you your allowances. Tournament will come and go, irrespective of how they perform in the tournament, the money will not be paid. So they keep entering this to just say, just play first. After this, entering those kind of this thing, thinking that these players, they are well paid and as such. Nigeria is not the only country in the world that have players that play in professional leagues abroad. Many countries in the world, go to Latin America, and they have players playing abroad, playing in Europe and all that. When those players go back to play for their country, they are paid. Nobody says come and play out of patriotism. They are paid. And even think of America. There was a time the women football, they sued the federation that what they were being paid was lower than what the male players were being paid. And they won in court, and the football federation in America said they will increase their pay. That one, they are being paid though, right? These players have their clubs. They are being paid. What they sued for is that they are not receiving enough. So there is no country where you have players come from their clubs to play where they are not being paid. You have to pay them. It's what they work for. You have to pay them their dues. If the money that is meant to pay them, because every year they do budget, part of that budget includes paying allowances, paying for tournaments. If that money is not paid to the players, it's those officials from the ministry, from the NFF, it's those officials that will eat the money. If the money is not paid to the players, where do you think the money will go? The money is not going to go back to government or go back to any gesture to develop football. the money will end up in the pockets of those officials. So these arguments that the question of patriotism, when you talk about patriotism, we miss this thing. People talk about, oh, you should be patriotic. See America. Why are Americans patriotic? Because of the way America treats its citizen. If an American citizen has a problem any part of the world, and America is aware, the government is aware, they will go all out to go and help that American. Because of the value that America places on its citizen, that is why the citizens are patriotic. In return, they are patriotic in return of what America has done for them. If you are asking Nigerians to be patriotic, the question is, what has Nigeria done for them? If you are asking these players to be patriotic, what has Nigeria done for them? Has Nigeria paid them their allowances? When they are to be hosted in hotels, did they look for good hotels for them? You just see the egos have to now come out and post pictures of the hotel they were lodged. They will collect money from government, from budget and all that, and go and look for cheap hotels where they will stay. You expect people to be patriotic, and you will not pay them the allowances. The accommodation, you will not look for good accommodation for them. You will not look for ways to make them comfortable. The coach, you will not pay. Support staff, you will not pay. You expect people to use their own money to do patriotism without you valuing them, without you honoring them. You look at the female football team, both the football team and the female basketball team that were honored because they won the Women Cup for the 10th time. For the basketball team, they won it for the 5th time and all that. The way they were honored and the money they were given, that one is directly from the presidency. It's directly from the presidency, and we have to be sure that those monies are paid. You understand? Now, those players, the female team, they were compensated because, do you know how, if male players, which is the main team, if they can be suffering, that some of them have to come out to complain that they have to boycott matches, what do you think the female team will be undergoing? They will be undergoing worse treatment. So the money that the government pledged by $100,000 to each of those players is like, apart from being a reward, is a compensation for the years and years of toil those female players have been going through without really getting much in return. There was a time that it was handshake that was the reward, presidential handshake. There was a time that it was presidential handshake. You understand? So please, this talk of you should be patriotic, being patriotic is not automatic. That is what we must understand. Being patriotic is not automatic. Being patriotic is a byproduct. Being patriotic is an end result of how well your country treats you. When your country treats you well, hold you in high regard, respects you, honor its obligations, pay you your money, pay you your allowances, pay you what you are owed. In response, you show patriotism towards your country. You do your part to represent your country, to do well by your country. So that is how it should go. So no one should be saying that these players should be patriotic and use their money to do things. At the end of the day, some of these players have to use their own money to do certain things. We've seen it before. Mikel Obi gave an experience where they had to get money to take flight and stuff like that, because it wasn't because of failure of part of the football federation officials, you know. So that must be borne in mind. The players, if there are obligations that the federation has towards coaches, technical staff, support staff, towards players, those obligations have to be met. You shouldn't be doing promises. Say, okay, we are going to pay you. At the end of the tournament, we'll pay you. Tournament comes, they said there was some money that there was an award money. They went to a tournament. I've forgotten. I think it was Mikel Obi that said it. There was money that they're supposed to be paid, right? At the end of the tournament. When the tournament ended, they disbanded the squad. The officials. They disbanded the squad. They disbanded the squad now. Who will now ask for money? You understand? The other time that they didn't play Gabon, they boycotted a warm-up exercise before they played Gabon. They said some of those allowances were dating back to 2019. So you can imagine that. One thing we have to realize is that it is said that defenders are said to get better with age.